First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Vajrapani Bodhisattva. Sumo, Danchen Gatso, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are the Taipei rep to Sweden and Norway, Ambassador Dongzhou Liao's wife, Dharma Sister Judy, PR Director of True Buddha School Taiwan Temple, Dharma Brother Fermi Wong, Dharma Sister Janet Su, from the Hengda Dance Academy, Mr. Li Hengda. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do? First, I would like to announce for next Sunday, February 23rd, at 3 p.m. Sunday, there would be Ushina Vijaya Buddha Mother Homa fire offering ceremony. And we all know now we have many Ushina Vijaya Pagoda in America, like for the Iru temple. They have erected the Ushina Vijaya Pagoda, and also in the Guam. In Guam and many places, many temples. They have the Ushina Vijaya Pagoda also at the Taiwan temple. And the primary deity for the pagoda is Ushina Vijaya Buddha Mother. She has 4 faces. To the front is the Ushina Vijaya, and the other faces are the 3 tantric reliances. Is that right? Three faces. No Manjushri. For 3 faces, the front belongs to Ushinavijaya, and the other face, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and the other face is Vajrapani Bodhisattva. Strange, I remember it was 4 faces. So it lacks Manjushri Bodhisattva. I remember that Ushinavijaya is together with the 3 reliances. No, I mean... Master Lian said, Manjushri Bodhisattva was the one who guided Ushinavijaya to Mount Wutai. So that meant that they are in partnership. Is that right? 3 faces? Okay. I remember there's some correlation between Manjushri and Ushinavijaya. So it's because Manjushri was the one that took Ushinavijaya to Mount Wutai, so they're partners. So that's why there's some correlation there. And then later on, Tribhuda school built and installed many Ushinavijaya pagodas all over the place. In America, at the Iru Temple, in California, and here. And also at Rainbow Temple. Right. All I remember is my mom, but not the Ushinavijaya pagoda. So the Ushinavijaya pagoda of the Ushinavijaya Buddha Mother, according to Tantrayana, they can subdue the natural disasters like earthquakes, flood, fire, and windstorm. So we went to Guam, and the Ushinavijaya pagoda there was not at the temple, but the pagoda was approved by the Guam government to let Tribhuda school erect a pagoda in a park. It's a park in Guam that let us set up the pagoda right at the center of Guam Island, because they experience lots of typhoons, or they form lots of typhoon from at Guam area, so that's why we erected a pagoda there. I heard that after we erected Ushinavijaya pagoda at the center of Guam, that typhoon never occurred into Guam. It spoken by Master Lian Zi. When you went to Guam, that's what you heard. That since then, typhoon did not occur in Guam. So Ushina Vijaya Buddha Mother is a truly great Buddha Mother. She includes Ushina Vijaya Buddha Mother, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Vajrapani Bodhisattva. The union of these three deities. And Manjushri Bodhisattva also guided Ushina Vijaya to Mount Wutai. Therefore, by becoming primary supplicant for Ushina Vijaya, it's the same as the primary supplicants for Ushina Vijaya, Avalokitesvara, Vajrapani, and Manjushri Bodhisattvas. So that would be extremely wonderful. And today, let's talk about Vajrapani Bodhisattva. I remember in the legend of the 8 great Bodhisattvas, one time Sakyamuni Buddha was giving a Dharma teaching, and Sakyamuni Buddha asked Sariputra, who did you see behind my back? And Sariputra replied, he did not see anything. And then Sakyamuni Buddha used his majestic transcendent power to show a protector behind him, and then asked Sariputra again, whom do you see behind my back now? And Sariputra replied, behind Sakyamuni Buddha there is Vajrapani Bodhisattva. Sakyamuni Buddha asked Sariputra, have you ever seen Vajrapani Bodhisattva before? No, never. Only today. I just saw him. And therefore, Sakyamuni Buddha introduced Vajrapani Bodhisattva to Sariputra. That any spiritual cultivators or any sadhakas who had gained realization, or any sadhakas who practice the correct dharma, would have Vajrapani Bodhisattva behind their back protecting them. So Vajrapani Bodhisattva was when Vairocana Buddha entered into the Samantabhadra meditation and emanated the great moonlight, which is the perfect bodhicitta mark or seal, and appearing the so Vajrapani is the union of Samanta Bodhisattva and Vajrasattva. So Vajrasattva, Vajraheart Bodhisattva and Vajrasattva. Vajrasattva, Vajraheart Bodhisattva and Vajrapani Bodhisattva are in union. Why did they mention about Samantabhadra Bodhisattva? Because many people believe, either in both Mahayana and Tantrayana, that Samantabhadra Bodhisattva in Mahayana is the same as Vajrasattva in Tantrayana. In many sutras, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva was mentioned to be Vajrasattva. So there are signs of union. Vajrahat Bodhisattva, Vajrasattva and Vajrapani Bodhisattva are in union. And the tantric three reliances, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and Vajrapani Bodhisattva. Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva symbolizes compassion, Manjushri Bodhisattva symbolizes wisdom, and Vajrapani Bodhisattva symbolizes Dharma power. So therefore Sakyamuni Buddha spoke on Vajrapani or Vajrahan Bodhisattva. So all the Buddha work, all the Dharma work is being done by Vajrapani Bodhisattva. So he symbolizes Dharma power, a kind of power. So Vajrapani Bodhisattva has great power. So this is his image. His right hand is holding a Vajra scepter. His left hand is holding a lasso, Vajra lasso. When we chant Om Purulanjali, Om Purulanjali, Om Purulanjali, Boru, or Om Boniranjali, Boni. Boni is the name of this Vajrapani Bodhisattva. When we mark our brow point using this Vajra mudra and touch the throat and the body, right and left shoulders, and then place it back to the brow chakra, you need to visualize Vajrapani Bodhisattva appearing up and above you. My guru taught me, when you chant Om Purulanjali before you wear your clothes, you place a fist on top of your clothes and you chanted Om Purulanjali 7 times, and then you wear the clothes. That indicates that like you're wearing an armor, like an armor worn by armies in the ancient time. That's to protect you. So that shows that you are wearing an armor, that the Mara will not be able to attack you. When you do our Dharma practice, you form the Vajra Klaps mudra and you recite the mantra 7 times, Om Purulanjali, and then touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and release the mudra that indicates that Vajrapani is protecting you. doing the Dharma practice, and you need to visualize Vajrapani Bodhisattva. And you can also mark it when you wear clothes or also for your house. There are two mudras. This is the primary mudra, like this, like the mother mudra, except the ring fingers are interlacing each other inside. So you can form this and recite the mantra 7 times, and then mark the 4 directions of your house: north, south, east, and west. So 7 times to the north, to the east, to the west, to the south. 7 times each. And then after you finish chanting, you place the mudra at the brow point and then release it. So that shows that Vajrapani Bodhisattva is protecting your house. And then you go from there. Whatever you do, you can invite Vajrapani Bodhisattva to help you. This is for protection. That's a very good protection. So he symbolizes Dharma power. Like if someone is invaded by ghosts on someone's body, and then you form this mudra and you recite Om Puninanjali 7 times, and then you stomp your feet, and then you throw the mudra to that person's body, push it off. That means that Vajrapani Bodhisattva would exorcise the ghost from that person's body. So, by saying this now, you know how to use Vajrapani Bodhisattva, how to invoke him. And during our Dharma practice, you touch the mudra to the brow point, throat chakra, heart chakra, left and right shoulders. That's Vajrapani is protecting you. And then if you place it at the 4 corners of your house, that's protecting the house. Or if you place it or push it to someone, then it would chase away the ghosts from that person's body. So that's the primary thing about Vajrapani Bodhisattva. He's extremely popular in Tibet. He's one of the 3 tantric reliances: Manjushri, Avalokitesvara, and Vajrapani. Many people practice this deity in Tibet. And they called him Hand Vajra or Vajradhara or Vajra finger, the one that's holding the Vajra scepter. And he's also a secret tantrika. So we all know Vajrasattva, Vajraheart Bodhisattva, Vajrahand Bodhisattva, or Vajrapani are all tantrikas, secret tantrikas. So many people practice this deity too. This is not a joke. This is meaningful. This epidemic made us understand that all our lives we are not striving for money or houses, but for life and health. If you can live to the end, then that would be true success. And if you have good health, then you're truly wealthy. If you want to live a rich and colorful life, in my opinion, that would be a success. So, if you have a splendid life, that would be a success. You should, if you have so much worries and miseries and you're not healthy, and you don't do any meaningful thing all day, not even one meaningful thing all day, then it's better that you die. You're like a living corpse. So every day you should do at least one meaningful thing. Only then you would call your life a splendid life. If you live like a zombie, you're just jumping around, meaningless, then why do you live in this world? Therefore, every day you have to do one thing that is meaningful to your own life and to the world. At least one. That's why I said that Dharma practice is important. Doing some work is very important. Helping others is very important. Especially for the ordained people, you have to understand this point even more so, that every day you have to live your life with meanings and you have to do something meaningful to benefit yourself and benefit sentient beings. You have to do at least one a day. You cannot just be the monk with three fullness, stomach full of food, full of sleep and full of play. Some people want to be ordained after they retire. That means you cannot do anything anymore after you retire. You don't have the energy. Then all day long you just kind of that you're just kind of groping around and eat and sleep and look here and there with no meanings whatsoever. So you are carrying dead body with you every day. So you want to live a splendid life, a rich life, whether you live a monastic life or laity life. You want to do something meaningful, that you feel that you don't live a meaningless life, a life with no values. I see some people smiling. They probably knew, but they'd rather die than living. That's how they live on. So you have to do something that benefit yourself and benefit others. That's my opinion. A woman is sighing about the epidemic. People fight for face masks, for alcohol, for disinfectant, hand soap, hand wash, and alcohol swab, but nobody fight for me. It's very difficult to say about certain things. But no matter what, even when nobody wants you, you can still help sentient beings. Just now, someone outside the door and called me the fatso. I was very angry, and if the door frame is not too narrow, then I would have walked out and scolded him. Now let's talk about Lamdre. It didn't say which part it started. So, protection for the outer demon, protect using the 4 awakening realizations. And for the inner demon, protect using the 4 marks of empowerments. So we have the outer Tantra empowerments, inner Tantra empowerments. Outer empowerment is for relying the Yidam to protect us, and the inner Tantra empowerment is relying on our channels, light drops, and inner fire to protect. And the highest Yoga Tantra empowerment, you rely on the sky Dakinis to protect, and the great perfection empowerment, then you protect it by the highest protectors. So the 4 empowerments are also for protections. So for the 4 kinds of hindrances, there are 8 kinds of protections. Also, depending on the magnitude of among these 4 awakening realizations, there are also parts that belongs to the inner demon. Sometimes the outer demon and the inner demon are interrelated. They can disturb you from outside or from inside. They are interrelated. About the outer demon, the 4 awakening realizations are the awakening realization of spiritual experiences, the awakening realization of meditation, the awakening realization of the secret mantra, and of seeing the purpose. First, the awakening realization of spiritual experiences. For the hindrances arising from the spiritual experiences and suffering, protect using all kinds of remedies. When the mind sensation generates terror and distress, unhappy feeling, body afflicted with illnesses, use the awakening realization of spiritual experiences and the 3 divisions to discern. If the above appears at the beginning or during the first half of the sitting period, it is due to the disturbances of the Mara. Know and think so, then it is due to the Mara, like pointing out a female thief or blind thief that has no power to obstruct. If they don't disappear, then one needs to practice the three kinds of skillful means protections. If the hindrances occur during the middle part of the sitting, because the spiritual experiences of the meditation is due to the accumulation of the mind qi at the faulty channels, know that this is the cause and be at ease and let it be and maintain it at will. If it occurs during the last part or after obtaining possession, it is due to the chaos and disharmony of the four elements of the body. Temporarily stop or delay the efforts of meditation, and one needs to take in diet as prescribed earlier, to eliminate it by receiving the nectar of majestic presence, and also to eliminate it by the power of the meditative mind. So talking about this awakening realization of the spiritual experiences. So if in the start, at the start you feel when at the beginning of your meditation you feel unhappy or your body is ailing like stuffy nose, then that would hinder you. Or you have headache or migraine, that also hinder you. Or you feel really scared, because as soon as you enter into meditation, as if you're falling into a black hole, and you feel terror, and then you get out from it. So that's also disturbances. Some people at the beginning of meditation, they felt very light and they rise to the sky. And then they thought that, wow, this is so high. If I fall, then I would be broken to pieces, and then they would feel scared. So this is a kind of spiritual experience. But you have to think, if you fall down, you would break into pieces. But if you think, oh, I'm in meditation, and if you know this is meditation and this kind of things happen during meditation, that you would rise into the sky, that's due to the function of the wind. That it is just a function of the wind. And if you realize, if you awaken and realize, then you will not be bothered by it. Or if you fall into a black hole, it's really dark, and you keep falling, then you would feel terror inside your mind. And you need to think that, hey, I'm just meditating. And this kind of spiritual experience or sensation is created by something to let you feel that way. There is no need to feel scared. So the hindrances created by body, for example, like yesterday when you fold your legs in lotus position, then you feel numb and pain. That's also a hindrance to your meditation. But you can meditate when you walk, you stand, or sitting on a chair too. You don't have to sit in the Vajra posture. So it's a kind of remedy. So when the mind sensations generates terror and distress, unhappy feeling, body afflicted with ailments, if they appear at the beginning of the sitting period, it's due to the disturbances of the Mara. Know and think this, it is due to the Mara. As long as you are clear and have lucid wisdom to discern it, then naturally they will go away. And it's okay if you want to practice protection too. Like just now, Vajrapani Bodhisattva, it can be practiced as protection. If the hindrances occur during the middle part of the sitting, that's because the spiritual experience of the meditation is due to the meditation, due to the accumulation of the mind qi and the faulty channels, and you just let it be. If during Dharma practice, during meditation, your qi enters into the faulty or degenerated channels, then it would generate bad spiritual experiences. At that time, you have to have that lucid wisdom to discern that those are because my qi entered into the faulty channels. For example, when you sit and all of a sudden you smell something rotten. This happened. Some people, when they meditate, they would smell something fragrant. There's no disturbances there. But sometimes it's strange. When you don't meditate, you don't smell anything rotten. But when you meditate, all of a sudden you smell that rotten smell. Where did it come from? It's because your qi enters into the rotten channels, that those channels are rotten already. So the smell of those channels appeared and you could smell it to disturb you, so you stop meditating. Then you find it disgusting and then you don't feel like meditating. So this kind of hindrances is also called demon or Mara. But if you have the lucid wisdom, then you know, then you just let it be. This statement is often repeated here. Let it be and maintain it at will. Just let it be. Just know that that was the cause. Because the qi enters into your own faulty or degenerated channels, and you just let it be. If it occurs during the last part, or it is due to the chaos and disharmony of the four elements of the body. So temporarily stop or delay the efforts of the meditation. And I often mention that in meditation, sometimes you feel you're like a mountain or a rock, that your whole body becomes very hard. Your body becomes restricted. That's the function of the earth element. If you feel that your whole body is burning, like you're having high fever and fire burning, that's the function of fire element. If you feel like you are already inside the deep ocean and the fish are swimming all around you or inside your body, that's the function of the water element. And then if you feel that you're floating or traveling everywhere, that's the function of the wind element. All these things happen. But sometimes the spiritual experiences are not good. That's because the four elements of the body are in disharmony. So you can temporarily stop or delay the meditation. And then you use diet, pure diet, say to lower the heat. Or if you feel cold every time you meditate, then you need to eat something warm, something warming. So you use diet to remedy it. And then you also use the majestic presence to receive the nectar, to eliminate it. Like every night, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva would shower nectar on me. When I practice to be in union with Amitabha Bodhisattva, Avalokitesvara is by our side. And she would use her pure nectar water to sprinkle. And the water would be on my body and cool my whole body down. And I could feel it when the water is being sprinkled on me. And Mahastama Prapta Bodhisattva is to my left hand. And what she was doing is she took her lotus bud, and from the pistils of the lotus, their lights emitted onto me, and I also could feel it. I had the sensation. And Amitabha Buddha, one hand is holding the lotus throne, and the other hand is in the wish-fulfilling mudra. And then the lotus was being thrown at me and radiating like 100 rays of precious light, and every night I would receive the lights. This is the Dharma practice that I do before sleep every night. So here it's written, so if you have the symptoms of the chaos or disharmony of the four elements, then you need to pay attention to your food or diet. And you can eliminate it by receiving the nectar of majestic presence, like I receive the nectars of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and to eliminate it by the power of the meditative mind. My meditative power is very good. When I perform the I enter me, I'm in union with Amitabha Buddha, and I finished this Dharma practice already, and I was ready to get to bed, and I would walk around. Then I would be Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha did not leave me behind. And I thought, well, I finished my meditation. I've done my visualization of oneness. I enter me, and I'm ready to get on bed. I went to the bathroom, washed my hands, and getting ready to bed, or wash my face, and then put on some lotion on my face. When I do these things, Amitabha Buddha stayed with me, did not leave me behind. So you can eliminate it with the power of meditation. So you can eliminate a lot of hindrances this way. This is extremely great. It would not last to rely by your face, but if you rely on not having face to eat, that would last a long time. Many people rely on their face to earn money, but it will not last. Why? Because the youth only lasts a short time. But we cannot rely on not having face to earn money. Grandmaster rely on meditation to earn money or to live on. You know, if you know how to meditate, you would be able to attract sentient beings. Inadvertently, you already have radiant light on you, and all the demons, all the maras, because of your bright radiance, would naturally go away. There are 3 riddles here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, Tanzen Kato, what's the answer? This riddle only works in Chinese, I guess. 4 characters. You can lack one.
2个字，雨后春笋，猜一个地名。
After the rain.
新竹谁讲的？格利亚。哦，很厉害。什么动物最爱？
It's the name of a city, Hsinchu. This is only meaningful in Chinese.
什么动物最爱乱买东西？谁讲的？因为斑马是黑跟白，叫做欧北贝。台湾话。
And this even Taiwanese.
小明对一个女生讲
：“Xiaoming told a girl, even when there are 10 beautiful girls in front of me, as soon as you appear, they all will appear into the dim. They are dim compared to you." And this girl said, "How could I be so bright and radiant? No. Because you're too big. That's why you shed a shadow upon them." So as spiritual cultivators, we cannot be too fat. Cannot be too skinny either. So just the middle way, not too fat, not too skinny. So for sadhakas, we cannot have too much fire or too much water. So we want to balance or harmonize fire and water. So the light drops in the inner fire have to be harmonized. Then only then you would be able to generate the clear light radiance. But if the water is too much and the fire is too little, then there would be chaos. The same, vice versa, the same. If it's too much fire and too little water, there would be chaos too. Master Lien Teng often said that just right. It has to be just right. The same for spiritual cultivation. My classmate had the gum infection. I went to see the doctor, the dentist, and the dentist said, you have to get a surgery, and I never had any surgery before. I'm very anxious, and the doctor said, don't worry, it's also my first time. And then the nurse came by and asked, so do I inject the Novocaine, the anesthetic, to inside the mouth or outside the mouth? And the doctor replied, to his legs. Then he wouldn't run away. It's a joke. Human eyes are black. This is for Chinese. And the hearts are red. But when your eyes turn red, then your hearts become black. Red eyes in Chinese means envious or jealousy. What? When a boyfriend and a girlfriend are fighting, that when they're in agreement, then you listen to the boyfriend. If they're in disagreement, then you listen to the girlfriend. And this also applies to a couple. I have a friend that's especially sensitive. And he scraped his skin and it just bled a little bit, and he had to go to the hospital. And when the doctor saw that, the doctor said that, oh, good thing you come here soon, because if you wait a little longer, then it would be heal. It would heal by itself. So we cannot be like that. You make such a big deal of small things, or then you exaggerate even more if it's a major issue. So spiritual cultivators have to have wisdom. If it's a minor problem, you use a small effort to handle it, and for major problems, then you use major effort. Everything has to make sense and perfect and complete. Om Mani Padme Hum.